On November 7, 1993, the Martinez family moved into an old Victorian house in a quiet suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. The house was charming, though it had been vacant for a few years and needed some repairs. They quickly fell in love with it, but something about the attic gave them an uneasy feeling. The father, Robert, was the first to explore the attic. Amidst the usual forgotten relics of previous owners, old furniture, dusty trunks, and stacks of newspapers, he found a small, unmarked VHS tape. It was unusual enough to pique his curiosity, so he brought it downstairs. That night, the family decided to watch the tape. They gathered around their TV, popped the tape into the VCR, and pressed play. The screen flickered to life with static, before revealing footage of a dark room illuminated by a single swinging light bulb. The room appeared to be an unfinished basement. For a long, eerie moment, nothing happened. Then, a distorted voice echoed from the speakers.
They never left.
Suddenly, the camera shifted, revealing what appeared to be a crude wooden altar. Strange symbols were carved into its surface, and a pile of charred, unidentifiable objects sat atop it. The footage became more disjointed, cutting abruptly between scenes of what seemed like ritualistic activities. Hooded figures standing in a circle, muttering indistinguishable words, and the light swinging back and forth. At one point, the camera zoomed in on the floor, where a faint trail of something dark and sticky led out of frame. The screen then cut to black, followed by another flicker of static. The last image was the attic of their very house, unmistakable due to a broken window in the corner that Robert had seen earlier. The tape ended with a chilling whisper.
You'll see them too.
Shaken, the family contacted the police. The officers who arrived took the tape and promised to investigate, though they seemed skeptical. In the days that followed, strange occurrences began to plague the Martinez household. Footsteps were heard in the attic at night. Items would go missing and turn up in odd places. One night, Robert awoke to find the attic door ajar, though he was certain he had locked it. The police eventually returned with an update that left the family more disturbed than reassured. They confirmed that the tape contained footage of their attic, but the other scenes were shot in a basement that had been part of an old, demolished house several miles away. Stranger still, the altar in the video had been tied to a series of disappearances in the early 1980s. The case had gone cold, and the cult believed to be responsible had never been caught. Unable to endure the terror any longer, the Martinez family moved out just 6 months after moving in. To this day, the house remains abandoned, with rumors circulating about its haunted past. The tape, though confiscated by the police, has reportedly reappeared on more than one occasion, always in the attic, waiting for the next family to find it. On April 12, 2022, the small town of Griffon, Kansas was eerily quiet, despite the storm warnings that had been issued throughout the day. As meteorologists tracked a massive supercell brewing in the area, storm chasers from across the country converged, hoping to document the rare weather phenomenon. Among them was a well-known 3-person team: Michael Gray, a 50-year-old veteran chaser, his nephew, 26-year-old Daniel Gray, and their friend, 35-year-old Emily Harper, a renowned meteorologist. This team had spent the last decade chasing some of the most dangerous storms, collecting data for universities and weather agencies. They were also featured in several storm documentaries, earning a reputation for their fearless approach and cutting-edge technology. On that fateful day, the storm was predicted to develop into a powerful EF4 tornado, dangerous but manageable for the experienced trio. By 3:45 p.m., the twister had formed, and the team set out, following the storm from a safe distance. Michael's calm demeanor reassured the others as they tracked the tornado's erratic path. However, as the afternoon wore on, something unusual happened. The storm began to intensify rapidly, defying all previous predictions. By 5:15 p.m., it had upgraded to a terrifying EF5, with winds exceeding 320 miles per hour, and its path became unpredictable. The team was caught off guard when the tornado made a sudden turn toward their location. Despite their best efforts to escape, the monster storm bore down on them. Michael attempted to maneuver their vehicle to safety, but the tornado's immense power overtook them. In a desperate bid, they veered onto a less traveled road, hoping to outrun the twister. But by 5:42 p.m., the tornado had reached them. The vehicle was lifted off the ground, spinning violently before being flung nearly a mile away. When the storm finally passed, the wreckage was discovered in a field. The car was barely recognizable, crushed and torn apart. Michael's body was found in the driver's seat, while Daniel and Emily were discovered some distance away, both having been ejected during the storm's fury. In the aftermath, authorities recovered a dashboard camera that had somehow survived. The footage captured the team's final moments, the tense but controlled atmosphere, the sudden realization of their dire situation, and Michael's last words, "Hold on tight, we'll get through this." The video has not been released to the public, but a few individuals close to the team have seen it. James Lawrence, a fellow storm chaser and close friend, described the haunting scene in an interview. "You could feel their fear, but also their determination. Michael kept calm until the very end." This tragic event serves as a grim reminder of the unpredictability and sheer power of nature, even for the most experienced. It underscores the perilous lines storm chasers walk, and the ultimate sacrifice they may face in the name of science and discovery. To this day, the memory of Michael, Daniel, and Emily stands as a somber testament to the dangers inherent in storm chasing, a pursuit where one wrong move can mean the difference between life and death.